it's you make a difference sa buhay ng tao. Kahit konti lang. For example, naglalakad ka, nakita mo yung taong natulog sa daan, and you do something, not because it's your job, but I think innate din talaga sa akin yung social service. I was born to be like this. Siguro ito yung mission ko. So, interesting, magkaroon ng kaibahan ng buhay ng tao. And I always, paggising ko talaga, lagi kong sinasabi na this is not only a job. Through social service, mga taong napabayaan or less in life, ay makita nila ang kamay ng Diyos through the services ng government. Nung high school, meron kaming social service palagi every Saturday. You have to go to the slum areas, or teaching children in the streets or sa mga communities in public schools. Actually, the first course ko is catechism. Kasi gusto ko mag-teacher. Pero gusto ko talaga mag-social work. So, but in the social service, when I become a social worker, nakita ko yung hindi sapat yung tumulong. Hindi din sapat na may intention ka. Sapat yung may sistema. Paano ka magtumulong? Para yung mga tao, yung tulong mo, nakakatulong ka sa tao, hindi yung nanatili sila sa ganong sitwasyon. In the Islam area and the reclamation, nagtatrabaho ko sa urban poor. But in college, in Cebu City, during weekend, organize kami sa labor unions. Oo, mga labor workers, farmers, we go to communities. Doon nag-start. Pero yung social work ko talaga nag-umpisa sa Pinatubo, mga victims of sexual abuse in the evacuation centers. Doon nag-start yung aking formal social work profession. Habang kwento. So actually from Asian Social Institute, where I was earning my second degree and the masteral on social work, nagtrabaho ko sa Social Action Center ng Pampanga. Binuo namin yung Child Abuse Protection Unit in the community level. Then after that, I went to Ateneo. I worked for 7 years in Santa Mesa for children in the mga informal settlers. And then we developed children to become children advocates. From Ateneo, so napunta ako sa DSWD. On naman to, protection for children and women who are displaced due to disaster. Then after that, I went to the foundation na may NGO ako. Bakit ako napunta sa Pasig? Pinapunta nila ako dito. Yung mga groups ni Mayor Vico ay mga kasama ko sa Ateneo. Start on anong ginagawa namin ng opisina. Yung mandato talaga namin is really for protection for the and welfare of all vulnerable sectors. Yung kahit hindi pa naisilang. I always say our work is from womb to tomb. So my work is to really monitor, supervise, mentor all the focals of all the programs. Hands-on ako. Pag meron kaming reach out or rescue operation, entrapment, nag-join ako. During COVID, mas tumataas yung cases on sexual abuse perpetrated by their own relatives and parents kasi nasa bahay lang sila. After COVID, mas maraming bullying and child-to-child prostitution, child-to-child trafficking, bintahan ng kaluluwa, bintahan ng katawan ng mga bata done by their own parents. Pero ang mas mataas sa amin, yung tinatawag naming children who have problems with loss, yung tinatawag nating children in conflict with loss. Sa aming data, mas marami. If we have in Kanlungan, our residential area, our temporary shelter, meron kaming mga 60 to 70 children in conflict with loss. The rest are abused sexually, physically abused, abandoned, neglected. Meron kami diyan mga bata sa baba, processing sila. Kahapon lang meron kaming 2 bata, abused by their own parents. 14 years old, 12 years old. Maiiyak ka sa kanila pag sinabing, I'm sorry tatay na dahil sa'yo, makukulong ka. But I don't need it. Parang mas gusto nilang hindi sampan ng kaso ang mga magulang kasi mawalan sila ng parents ang mga kapatid nila. Maiiyak ako kasi heavy. Remember, in social work, getting the justice is the secondary thing. The first thing is healing. The first thing is nasa atin ang mga bata for protection and then healing. If filing a case is part of the healing, then that's it. Then ayaw mag-file ng case ang mga magulang. Itong four children, sa 8 victims ito, mga lalaki. When I asked their parents, sasabihin nila, there's nothing wrong with it. Wala namang touching. They were just so naked and something. Sabi ko, hala, talaga, I was really, parent din ako. Sabi ko, anong nangyari sa mind ng mga magulang? Nung after COVID, dumadami. And these children are in school. Araw-araw meron kaming around 50 katao, nakita nyo kanina. Different problems yan. So, yun, gawan mo ng case study. Kung mga special cases, araw-araw, pag sinabing special cases, yun, abused physically. Hindi kami nawawalan ng sexual and physically abused araw-araw. For prevention, ito yung medyo waterlow namin yun. Kasi konti kaming social workers. I'm just talking about our office. Dahil konti kaming social workers, napupunta doon sa pagka-counseling at filing a case, pagpupunta sa court, sa mga present cases namin. So, we see to it that active yung BCPC, yung VAUSI desk nila active. Kailangan din sila tutukan na hindi lang nag-responde dahil may sumigaw na ng help. But the prevention aspect, it deepen, it strengthen pa ngayon. But we have programs sa out-of-school youth, children, through schools. Amin kasi yung ECCD, the early learning. So, ini-incorporate namin yung mga two-touch, what is good and bad touch, regular program yan sa mga children. Then, nag-advocate kami sa schools. Active ang aming relationship with the schools through their social protection program. After COVID, lagi ako nagre-report kami sa superintendent, sa schools. Binibigyan namin sila ng listahan every quarter. Halos nga minsan every month. Ito yung cases ng list of children victims of abuses. Different schools yan. Na-alarm yung DepEd. Titingnan na namin yan. Sabi ko, hindi lang yung how to detect, but how to prevent. Maganda talagang padamihin yung kagaya natin. Kagaya kung mag-advocate sa mga ganito. And then we always do some awareness seminars sa mga barangays. Every barangay monthly solo parents meeting, assembly. Isasama namin itong mga child rights, women's rights. Kailangan lang i-revisa or pagtingin yung OSAIC kasi dati pang module yun eh. Even na ECCD, kasama siya sa module about the good touch, bad touch. Pero dahil bago ang cyber crime-related, mga ganon. Pero yung OSAIC, other hindi pa nila, may sabi nila mayroon na sila mga modules pero hindi ko pa nakita. Una talaga, we have to be adept of what is happening outside our office. Cybercrime-related programs, OSAID, cyberbullying, and addiction. Ito yung mga bago na hindi pa masyado nabibigyan ng magandang programa ng LG. I'm just so lucky as a head of the office that I have a mayor na very supportive, empowering, and then who encourage us to really think out of the box na hindi lang yung business as usual. And now you have the support of the other offices because it's not only our office who can really address or respond to this program. We have, like kami, for example, kami naman talaga una, but the restoration, the legal, the livelihood, the other training, education, are other offices mandates, not only us. So yun, yung maging creative, maging conscious that you are not alone, that you cannot do this alone, that your office is not only the office who can address this complex and alarming program, alarming issues and concerns of children. There are a lot of stakeholders outside your government, church-based, faith-based, businessmen, mga well-meaning individuals, groups, organizations like NGOs who can be with you as champions, in warriors, to really combat this very alarming issues sa atin, hindi lang sa bansa natin, outside pa. Napaka-draining, but it takes a lot of passion and compassion. But more than that is, yung gusto kong laging ginagamit yung sa cybercrime, yung pag-ESF, the system thinking, isa sa mga solution, sagot sa problemang napaka-complex. I have the legislative na mga sanggunian na magsusupport kasi kahit anong proposals project pero hindi nila ma-appreciate, no? Hindi data-driven, hindi micro, basta macro din titingnan. Hindi naman sila magsusupport kasi sila yung sa ito government kasi sila yung magperma for the approval of your So you have to lobby with them, to discuss with them bago propose ng program. Not political, but it's really everything is for the service na constituents nila. So, maraming tao nandyan, kagaya din ninyo. Ang daming pwedeng magawa pag marami. Ang mahalaga, may structures, may budget, may mga, more than that is may puso. Kasi kung wala kang puso, siguro, ang hirap tumagal dito. Aming mga social workers, ang hirap tumagal kung sweldo lang pag-isipan. Puso talaga. They go beyond 24 hours. 24 hours pala kami. 24/7 yung call. What I don't like is kung lagi ka na lang nagpapatay ng sunog. Sana wala ng sunog. Yun ang gagawin mo, na walang sunog. Okay, sa mga nanonood at makikinig dito, bawat isa ay bahagi sa problema at solusyon. Lumaki na tayong iba na ang mundo. May gadgets nandyan. May 3 akong anak, no? All boys. But we were able, me and my husband, we were able to set structures and laws na kasama sila. Pinag-usapan namin, anong oras kayo manood ng TV? Kailan kayo dadamputin at gamitin ang cellphone? At hanggang ngayon sila, naging warriors din sila. So it starts with the family. Hindi sa labas, it starts with the family. The problem is, hindi lahat pamilya may ganitong kakayahan. Now, itong other institutions, especially the church, would really help the families to really empower the families, to educate the families. Kasi doon mag-start yan. And the second is, we have the big institution, the schools. Nabigyan ng DN sa eskwelahan ang usaping ito. And sana sa mga kaparian, kamadrihan, faith-based, captured audience nila, na maging ang homily nila, ang kanilang sermon, ang kanilang mga apostolate, ay ma-integrate nila yung tinatawag ng restoration of the human being. Yung human being, kasi usapin na to, tao eh. Hindi naman to malayo or separate from the spiritual thing and itong usaping mga cybercrime or cybersecurity, cyber threat. You talk about the soul of the person. Lahat tayo, kagaya ng mga businessmen, lahat, kasama sa problema. But more than that, may obligasyon tayo. It's our obligation to be part of the solution.
The video we just saw is about one social worker who dedicated most of her career life serving people. Nakaka-impress talaga at nakaka-touch ng puso yung na-share ni Ma'am Tess about how she saw God moving. Matindi talaga ang commitment, passion niya, and devotion to serving the most vulnerable in our society. At syempre, yung ganitong trabaho, hindi maiwasan na magkakaroon ng secondary trauma or vicarious trauma ang mga social workers. Yung mga bagay na yan, tiniis ni Ma'am Tess at I'm sure ng maraming social workers na kagaya niya para makapaglingkod sa mga batang nangangailangan talaga ng tulong.
Si Ma'am Tess played and will play a very important role in Pasig City. and CGPH partnership of engaging the entire community to create safer cyberspace.
Isa siyang true-blooded child advocate at nakasama na natin siya ng maraming beses sa CGPH. She was with us together with Councilor Angelu in last year's Daluyan, the second National Youth Leadership Summit.
At dumami pa sana ang maraming Tess Briones sa paglaban natin sa USAID.
Mabuhay ka, Ma'am Tess, at ang lahat ng mga social workers, house parents, and care providers sa mga healing centers at shelters. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Saludo po kami sa inyo.
So stay on your seats. We will be right back after this break.